everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a tour of my completed Kidcore Candyland island called Lollipop. This island has been a labour of love for over a year now, and I'm so pleased that I can finally share the completed island with you all. Lollipop is full of fun Kidcore elements, sweet treats, and is super pink. It was a whole lot of fun to put this island together, and I really hope this island can inspire you to try Kidcore out for the first time. Can we take a quick moment though to talk about this flag? This was a flag that I designed myself along with several other custom codes that are on this island. This flag was a little bit of a work in progress for a very long time, and I did get a little bit of help finishing it from my good friend April Honey, who is linked in the description below if you want to go check out her channel as well. So we'll take a quick look at all of the villages that I have on this island as well as the map itself. As you can see, it's a super flat map. There's not a huge amount in terms of terraforming apart from the cliffs that are in the bottom left hand corner of the map, which look a little bit more interesting along with some interesting choice of river shapes. But I'll show you all of that as we walk around. In terms of the villages that I have on this island, there's myself as the island representative, and then we have Sherb, Sasha, Cookie, Meringue, Bunny, Stitches, Apple, Hopkins, Mint, and Broccolo. I've gone with a mixture of different types of villages. Although I wanted a lot more of the food themed villages, a lot of them didn't actually fit in with the Kidcore aesthetic. So I've gone with Cookie, Meringue, and Apple, who have that sort of cute kiddie-like look to them. But then I've balanced them out with Sasha, Sherb, and Mint to bring down the colorways a little bit to make the island a little bit more cohesive overall. And then I've also added in some of the brighter Kidcore villages that are traditionally seen within those Kidcore islands. So we've got Bunny, Stitches, Hopkins, and Broccolo to add to that. And then as we come out of my airport, you come into the first major build that I have on this island. It doesn't look like very much for the ground, but you do really need to go into the camera to see this in a lot more detail. So this is my Kidcore Candyland castle, and it was the staple build that I wanted to make when I first had the idea to try Kidcore. I actually got the inspiration for this from a post that I'd seen on Twitter when I was looking up how do I put something like this together. Big builds is something that I have tried before on this channel, and if you want to take a look at another big build that I made, I can link it in the cards for you. But this is something that is a little bit more technical. I've not really tried making my own custom codes before, so all of the custom codes that you see on the simple panels were designed by me, and then otherwise I've tried to make something that looks a bit more like a cake and is covered in all sorts of fun sweet treat elements to just bring the whole vibes of this island together. And then as we come out of the Candy Castle, you can come to the right and then across this bridge and you'll head towards my resident services, and in front of this is one of the play parks that I made on the island. Again, I wanted to have more of the Kidcore elements in here, but I've gone mostly pastel pink here and had these cute little elements with the springy toys and added in a few dropped items in the form of the lollipops and the heart-shaped crystal just to add a bit more detail into this island overall. And then when you come out of resident services, you then come up to my Able Sisters, which is right next door. This is just a small simple build to try and get Able Sisters to fit in a little bit more, and I've gone instead with creating a sort of outdoor ice cream parlor-esque look to this island, which I think is super cute, and it turned out so well. I love all of the little pink touches that I added in here, and if you wanted a photo opportunity, you can come and sit down at this bench and have a little bit of an ice cream in the sunshine. Super cute. And then from here, you can go down this pathway over here, and that will take you up to the first of many train stations that I have on the island. This is super cute and I absolutely love how it turned out. The custom code flooring here is made by me, and it was something that was a bit of a pain to work out altogether. It's designed to have this diagonal code to it so that you have a mixture of the different colorways that I've gone for on this island, this sort of pastel pink, yellow and blue colorway. And then I've added that into this train station build, which uses these standees that have the Plaza Train carriageway colours on them. You can't necessarily see them in this orientation, but you will see them as we go around the island. And if you come on the other side of the train, you can then see a little bit more of an extension, which just extends down my peninsula into this small little decorated area, which is super cute and just a lovely little touch to just extend out the train station. And then as you come out of the train station, there's an incline that comes up this way. And as you come up here, you then come up to the first of my villager houses, which is Meringue's house. This was actually a super cute, simple build, and I wanted to just have it be pink themed and go back in nicely with Meringue's house. And I feel like it fits in really well with some of the fun primary colours in the pink tulip and the pink cosmos, along with fitting in some of the subtler colours that just tie this island back together and give it a super cute sweet treats and foodie themed feel. Then as you come down the incline here, you then come up to a small little decorated area, which was just an extension to the play park when I had this extra space and I didn't know what to do with it. And that makes this small teddy bear's picnic. Again, another really sweet little photo opportunity if you wanted to be a part of it and just enjoy a little bit of a chill out in the sunshine as well. Then from here, if you come down onto the beachy area, you can come through this archway and you can then head onto my beaches, which were so much fun to put together. And over here, I've got a small amusement park arcade style build. Something that I really wanted to try was building this sort of beachy fun fair that you get in some areas of the UK where there's just all sorts of arcade games and cute cuddly items overall. So that's the style of the beach that I've gone for here. And I've then extended that up onto the rest of the beach as you walk up, where it's just really simply decorated. You can walk up and there's lots of just fun flowers to add more of the kid core elements and just make it feel a little bit more alive and vibrant than it would be before. And as you continue walking up the beaches, you then come into one of the fun challenge builds that was given to me by my community. So over here we have what is affectionately known as a bucket build. So one of the sabotages I got given by our lovely friend Onksuna in the community was to make a build that contained 10 buckets. I'm not entirely sure where this came from, but it was a fun little challenge to put in, and I didn't know how I was going to get all of the buckets into this build. And in the end, I decided to make a small pick and mix stand, which is how we ended up with this little build here. So as you come up the beach, you can then take part in all of the fun and you can come up to the stands and pick any of the sweets that are on offer. I'm not entirely sure what's in this jar. Maybe there's just some chocolate in there or something, but you can then take the pick and mix home with you when you leave the island, which is so sweet. So as you then come over this bridge and then walk down past all of this fun decorations, you then come up to the first of a couple of villager houses to form a tiny little neighborhood. Over here you have Cookie's house, which is yellow themed with a lot of purple elements in it, which I thought was super sweet. And then when you come through a small little gap in the hedge, you then come up to Mint's house. Again, this is also purple and yellow themed to try and draw these houses together, but I thought it was super cute to just add in a little bit of the extra fun colours in the form of the pinks and the blues, just to tie everything together. And then as you walk beyond Mint's house, you then come into my Nook's Cranny. This was actually a fun little build to put together, and it has a small outside sweet shop because I thought this would fit in a little bit better with what the vibes of the Kidcore sweet treat themes were going to be on this island. And there's a fun little picnic spot that you can also sit at if you want to have a photo opportunity. And if you come beyond Nook's Cranny, there's also this small little area. It doesn't lead anywhere, but this also has a picnic spot with a fun little piggy bank that I just put down just to give a little bit more of the pastel vibes on this island. And I love how this turned out. Such a simple build, so cute, with a lot of cute, fun custom codes that are around. Absolutely love it. And then if we come up this incline here between the houses and Nook's Cranny, you then have a couple of options, and I'm going to take you to the right first, and you'll see the second of our train stations. This one is a blue themed train station, and again, it's super simply decorated. There's a lot of toys and ducks that are just around waiting for the train. And this is one of those that you can actually come in and you can take a proper photo just sitting down and waiting for the train to go, which I thought was super cute. And then if we come out of the train station, we can then come a little bit further to the right and you come up to another blue themed section, which is Hopkins' house. As Hopkins is this bright blue colorway, I wanted to feed back into that, and I've gone with just tying his house into the island overall by making it really blue, really pop in this part of the island, which I think is so fun and is so cute. And then if you go back from here past the train station, you then come up to my museum, which has a fun little playground outside of it. Again, blue themed. This is a very blue themed section of the island. And my museum is just super simply decorated. There's not a huge amount going on here, but this is a wood chipped play park, which is common in the UK for some of the outdoor spaces. And I really wanted to have a little bit more fun in here with making it look a lot more British than we have done for some of the other play parks that are around on this island. And then as you come beyond the museum, you then walk over this separate bridge and you then come into my outdoor school area. This was another build that I'd actually planned to do on a KidCore island, and I had no idea how I was going to actually make it work. So in the end, I built just a giant classroom that has a lot of little spaces to just indicate that it's school area. So there's a few lockers down here. There's a little sink to have a space to wash all of your paintbrushes, because that was quite common for schools in the UK. And then outside, you have this small little outdoor playground area where you can enjoy some time playing on the playground gym or playing hopscotch after lessons, which I thought was super cute and a nice touch overall. And then as we come down the incline over here, we then feed into another couple of houses. So over here we have Broccolo's house, which again is blue themed, just to tie it back up to the upstairs area. But as you walk through here, you then feed into Sasha's house, which is yellow themed, and this comes up quite nicely into a fun little wooded area of my island. So I'll quickly show you Sasha's house. As you can see, super simply decorated. It's not exactly the biggest yard, and I think out of all of my villagers, this garden is actually the smallest of them. But I really like how it turned out, and I absolutely love the duck with the puddle code as well. Super cute. As you then walk through the forest, you then come down the back of all of these trees, and there is a pathway area that leads up to my campsite area. There is a bridge that's just on the right, and that leads over to resident services as well. So you can go either way if you want to get access to this bit of the island. And as you come down through the campsite area, this is my slumber party build, and I absolutely love this as an idea to just make the campsite fit in perfectly. There's all sorts of fun KidCore elements here. I've got froggy chairs and froggy table and all sorts of snacks for a midnight snack party, which I thought was absolutely so cute and had to be a part of this island. I really love how this turned out, and there's all sorts of fun elements here that just tie back perfectly into the KidCore themes. And then if we go back, instead of down the path, we head towards the left from Sasha's house. We then come up into a path that leads through a foresty area, and this goes into the make or break build for this island. This is my amusement park. This was the hardest build that I had to put together, and even though it looks really simple, this build gave me absolute nightmares, and I was terrified of actually building it. When I say that this was the build that either made or broke this island, I'm not kidding. I didn't know how I was going to get this island to work around this build, and I knew that I had to try it, and I somehow managed to make it work. And I absolutely love that I finally got to finish this island because of this build. And that also leads into another train station build, which is super cute and cuddly. This one is pink themed, and again, you can sit in the train, you can do all the same things. It's a similar vibe and a similar style to the other train stations, but adding it onto the amusement park, I really think helped solidify what this vibe of this island was going to be, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So as I come out of the left of the amusement park, we now come into another small pathway area, and there's two houses over here. Over here you have Bunny's house and you have Apple's house. very, very different sorts of villages, but their houses had a very similar vibe. So I wanted to keep them together to just help them tie in that bit more perfectly into this island. So from Bunny's house, I think this is, you can walk into the back of the train station and see the back of the island that way. Otherwise, what's here is just a small little section that has a little dining area with the mum's homemade cake. I absolutely love the mum's homemade cake. This has become my favorite item from this island. I absolutely adore it. It is incredibly cute and incredibly cuddly. Love the vibes overall. Then if instead of heading right, you come down this pathway, you then come into Apple's house, which is just hidden in front of all of these trees. And this is just a small red themed area. And actually, this is the smallest garden of them all. I lied when I said Sasha's house is the smallest garden. This one, super teeny tiny. And I love how it fits in perfectly with the amusement park area. It's so cute, so stunning to look at, and I absolutely love it. So then as you come out of Apple's house, you can then come down this part of the beach. You can walk on the beach or you can walk around the island. You might get stuck on a few items, but either way, it's super cute. And then you come into this small little park area. Again, it's very similar to some of the other parks that are around, but this one I found to be a little bit more simple to put together. And I hadn't actually planned on having this park here. This was supposed to be just a quick build that I put up and took down for a thumbnail for a completely different video. But actually, I really liked how this fit in and filled in some of the extra space here that I didn't know what I was going to do with. So I ended up putting in this park instead, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So as you walk down through this archway, you then come into the lower part of my island, and if you walk around all of the things towards the beach, you then come up to my house, which I have decorated the interior of. This is my ice cream parlor, like the big inside business. There's all sorts of fun decorations in there. I won't show you through each room. If you want to discover what those all are, you can do so yourself. But actually, I love how this turned out, and it's so beautifully decorated inside that I absolutely love it. There's another outdoor seating area here that you can enjoy just sitting down at and enjoy a cupcake that was bought from the shop itself. And if you head up this small little hidden pathway, you can then come into Sherb's house, which this house is supposed to be blue and purple themed, and I love how this turned out. Again, lots of cute kidcore themed items. But there's also a hidden ladder here, which you can take up to discover a little secret. So if you want to take a look at the dream address, which I will link in the description as well, you can go find out what's up that ladder. And then as you come down through this part of the island, you then come into the last villager's house, which is Stitches. Stitches has a very different house to everyone else on the island, and I didn't change any of the villagers' styles in terms of their houses. And I've kept this yellow and pink themed, and I love how this turned out. There's lots of super cute touches here, and I absolutely adore this giant teddy bear with a bow. Can we just take a moment to admire this incredibly stunning giant teddy bear? Look at this thing. It is incredibly big and so adorable. I didn't even realize this was a DIY item in the game, and I love how cute it is to just fill in this part of the island. And then you can come down here through the Plain Lights party arch, and that takes you into my beach area. All of my beaches are decorated in this style, and I absolutely love how it turned out. So we've got all sorts of fun kidcore themed items. We have playgrounds, there's a volleyball court, there's all sorts of fun things. But my absolute favorite thing that I built is actually over by my resident services. So as you come back through the campsite, there's this bridge here, which will connect you back up to the Candy Castle. But if you want to take a look at this beach, there's another small fun build over here, which looks a little bit interesting. This is actually a bit of a joke that we have in the community. This is my wrong corner. And when you sit in here, it's just a case of you can just sit here and have a timeout and just chill on the beach and enjoy the vibes of this island. I absolutely love how this challenge build turned out, and I think it's super cute and super cuddly. I cannot believe that this island is finished. It's taken me so long to put together, and I really love how this island turned out. It's super sweet and super cuddly, and I think for someone who was scared of trying Kidcore in the first place, going down this pastel pink route was definitely the right way to ease into a Kidcore style. What are some Animal Crossing Island themes that you're scared of trying? Have you given them a go before and they didn't work out, or are you just not sure where to start with those? Let's talk about it in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one.